8-Bit Dylan. Time for the intro to my videos. Just make weird noises with your mouth. As everyone entered the class trial for the final time, a thick layer of despair could be felt hovering over the students. Whoever orchestrated all of this had put them through hell over the course of their time here, and everything was about to come to a head at this class trial. Walking into the trial room, everyone was greeted with an ecstatic-looking Monokuma, who was excited to get the trial underway. Welcome everyone to your final class trial! As you all know, one of you has murdered poor Enigma, and it'll be up to you to solve the case. If you succeed, which I doubt will happen, the remaining students will be allowed to leave my school. If you fail, however, I will punish whoever you guys found guilty, and instead the killer and the other two students will be able to leave Hope's Peak Academy with despair in their hearts. Enough with the explaining. Let's get to solving this case, exclaimed Sata, eager to get down to the bottom of who had killed Enigma. Where do we even start? Asked Hokusai. There are so many details left out of this case, unlike the previous ones, that solving this could be difficult. Exactly. There isn't a body to examine. There isn't a confirmed time of death. Everything seems super fishy about this case, but we have no choice but to solve it. Let's start with the obvious evidence. The sulfuric acid we found in his bedroom. There was a lot of that acid in that trash can. Much more volatile than the stuff I made previously. Someone must have tried to copy that acid that I made for us to dissolve that wall. To be fair, I did accidentally leave behind the spray bottle we used to apply the acid onto the wall. Even Sata came to me earlier and noticed that it wasn't in the room when we discovered that Monokuma had put up a metal wall to block us out. Anyone could have went in there, stole the bottle, and tried to replicate the formula themselves. You do realize there are instructions in the chemistry lab on the chemicals in it, right? What do you mean? The chemical chart that was in the chemistry lab details how to make sulfuric acid on it. Sure, I have some background on how to make that kind of stuff, but anyone could have gone up there and tried to make something themselves if they really wanted to. I do think it's suspicious just to believe everything Hokusai is saying about the chemicals in the trash can. We have no way of verifying if the sulfuric acid in there is actually more volatile than the acid he produced earlier. He could be simply lying to hide the fact that he made way more than he said he did. Why would I have made a ton of sulfuric acid if we didn't know what Monokuma's motive was until after I made the original bottle? That still doesn't excuse you from being behind this. You simply could have just went up and made more after learning what the motive was. Okay, so how did Enigma actually die then? We don't have a body to confirm anything. Maybe he was sprayed with sulfuric acid and died that way. That's ridiculous. If someone were to spray sulfuric acid towards someone else, we definitely would have found burn marks of the crime scene. No amount of cleaning up would have been able to get rid of that. Then what else could it be? It doesn't make any sense. He was strangled. What? Strangled? What makes you say that? Remember during our third night in the music room we discovered that one of the steel piano wires had been melted off using sulfuric acid? Well, I don't remember seeing any steel wire at the scene of the crime, nor would there be any real reason to take a piano wire unless you are going to strangle someone with it. My theory is that the killer snuck into the music room and took the wire and planned on using it to murder Enigma while he slept. How would someone have been able to get into Enigma's room at night to do something like that? Easy. Hokusai and I noticed that Enigma's bedroom door wasn't locked because he didn't have the key to lock it. Enigma had been staying in Ebizo's old room, so it makes sense that Ebizo would have had the key to lock the door in the first place. So, someone took a wire from the piano, went down to Enigma's room at night, strangled him, grabbed a plastic trash can from the garbage room, mixed up some sulfuric acid using chemicals from the lab into the trash can that had Enigma's body in it, and melted away any evidence that might link them to the crime? Not quite. We do have some evidence that we can work with. For example, how clean the room was when we discovered it.
If I remembered correctly, didn't you say you had OCD, Hokusai?
Yes, but I don't see how that relates to the case. Anyone could have cleaned up the space to frame me like that.
Let's not forget, Musashi, that you also have exhibited signs of being a neat freak throughout our stay here at Hope's Peak Academy.
Oh, so now you're saying that I'm the one who killed Enigma?
I'm saying let's question all the evidence we have found until something clear comes up.
One thing that we don't know is when Enigma was killed. There were 3 days he could have been murdered, correct?
Definitely. Though I have a feeling that he died the second night or third day.
What makes you say that?
Well, we didn't discover the piano wire missing until the third night, and Eureka said that she saw Enigma close his door on the second day, so he must have been alive then.
Oh, that's right! I definitely saw his hand quickly reach out and close the door to Ebizo's bedroom when I was running up to investigate the door being open.
Which makes me wonder, if Enigma was killed the third day before we had our music session, that doesn't leave a lot of time to clean up and create enough sulfuric acid to melt the body, which makes me believe that it had to be someone who knew what they were doing. Someone like Hokusai.
That's ludicrous! I would never kill anyone regardless of the motivation behind it. You have to believe me, guys. I didn't do this.
The evidence speaks for itself, Hokusai. If you didn't do it, then who did? Musashi did it.
What? What possibly led you to that conclusion, Sata? What kind of evidence do you have?
I've known it was you since the start of this class trial, Musashi. I just wanted to see how you would try to convince us it wasn't. Little known fact about myself, I too have taken piano lessons in the past and want to point out a weird fact that struck me as interesting. You played the piano for us all 3 nights, correct?
Yes, but the last I checked, playing the piano doesn't make me a murderer.
I find it peculiar that you played 3 songs from memory each night. The first 2 songs were very easy Christmas songs that did not include the missing high E key that was burned away with sulfuric acid. Then, out of the blue, you decided on the 3rd night to play a much more complicated song that did include the high E key. Why did you save the more impressive song that showed off your piano skills on the 3rd night when you made it seem like you couldn't remember much from your days of playing the piano on the 1st night?
I, didn't want to come off as a show-off? That still is irrelevant to the situation at hand. That doesn't prove anything, Sata.
I think Musashi purposely wanted us to find the burned away piano wire on the 3rd night, so that way we believed that Enigma had been killed the 2nd night or 3rd day. The reason Musashi wanted this to happen is so that way we could try to pin this all on Hokusai and make it seem like Hokusai was skilled enough to get this all done in the final day. From stealing the wire, killing Enigma, and melting the body with sulfuric acid and cleaning the room, that's a lot to do in just one day, all while still leaving time to interact with everyone and participate in the music jam sessions at night.
So, are you saying that Enigma wasn't killed the 2nd night or 3rd day?
I believe he was killed the very first night we learned the motive that Monokuma had set forth.
That's ridiculous. There's evidence that shows that Enigma was in his room the 1st day when he ate the breakfast you left out for him, and he was there the 2nd day since Eureka saw him close his door.
Not true. Just because the breakfast was eaten does not prove that Enigma was the one who ate it. Plus, I distinctly remember not hearing any commotion coming from his room at all the 1st day when I went to go visit, which I thought was weird since I definitely heard commotion in it the previous day when he was inside of it.
Well, maybe he was asleep? Even then, Hokusai is obviously the prime candidate who did this.
Even then, it should also be noted that Eureka said she saw someone close the door the 2nd day, which she thought was Enigma.
That had to have been Hokusai then. He must have been trying to trick me this entire time, and really killed Enigma the 1st night. And I'm just now seeing that thanks to you, Sata.
Oh please, Musashi. Stroking my ego won't stop me from proving you guilty. It couldn't have been Hokusai who closed the door because Hokusai's skin tone doesn't match Enigma's at all. No offense, Hokusai. He couldn't have pretended to be Enigma even if he wanted to.
None taken.
In fact, here's exactly how Musashi committed this murder. Musashi was troubled by the fact that his master plan of escaping the school had failed because Monokuma found out their plan. Believing Enigma to be somewhat responsible for their plan failing, Musashi quickly went to work planning how to kill someone so he could escape. Because of his piano lessons, Musashi knew that piano wires are super durable and could easily be used to strangle someone. He lied about not going back to pick up the bottle of sulfuric acid he used to spray the wall, Because if he did, we would have found the bottle at the scene where Monokuma walled off the dissolved brick wall, because no one would have had a reason to steal the bottle from the passageway to begin with. Sneaking into Enigma's room at night, knowing that Abizo's room couldn't be locked because only Abizo would have had the key, Musashi went in and strangled Enigma while he slept. Then he went to work destroying the evidence by creating his own version of sulfuric acid and dissolving Enigma's corpse over the course of the 3 days that we had before Monokuma trapped us in here forever. He did key things to make us believe that Enigma was still alive, such as eating the breakfast I laid out and making Eureka think that Enigma had left his room for a little bit. This in addition to purposely playing music that would avoid us discovering the high E key until the 3rd night, all to further make Musashi look more innocent in our eyes. You expected us to believe that Hokusai knew about piano wires and was okay with us doing music sessions at night, even if he had stolen a piano wire and his plans would have failed if the wire was discovered early? Nope. You tried to fool us, Musashi, but it didn't work. That's how you, Musashi, became the final Blackened and murdered poor Enigma. No one knew what to say, and an awkward silence fell over the class trial.
Well, if no one has anything else to add to the class trial,
said Monokuma before being interrupted by Musashi.
I didn't want to kill Enigma. I did it so you both could get out of here,
said Musashi as he directed the comment over to Eureka and Sata.
Listen to me. I'm sorry for the things I've done, but there was a reason for all of the secrecy. I apologize to you, Hokusai, for trying to throw you under the bus, but the information I know had to get outside of these walls before Monokuma could do anything about it. I didn't trust telling any of you this because Monokuma even said himself that he was always listening, so I kept what I knew in my head until now, since I know I won't be walking out of here alive.
Excuse me? I don't like secrets, mister.
I know who the mastermind is. Why don't you come out and talk to us like a human being, Tokyo? I know you aren't really dead, and that you've helped orchestrate this entire thing.
What are you trying to get at, Musashi? I'm not Tokyo. I'm Monokuma. What kind of ridiculous act are you trying to play right now?
You can try to lie to me, and you can try to lie to the other students in this class trial, but you can't lie to the viewers out there who are watching this right now.
Wait, what? What do you mean, Musashi?
I didn't want to say anything until we left the school, but that obviously isn't going to happen for me now, so I may as well spill the beans while I can. When we went into the control room and found Enigma there, I realized something. The machines inside there were from a broadcast studio. I've worked with similar machines in the past, and they provide a live feed to the outside world, which means that Monokuma has been recording all of our actions in here and distributing them somewhere. And my guess is that we are being uploaded as videos online.
Monokuma's face twisted into one of anger and confusion. Just as Monokuma opened his mouth to say another word, Musashi jumped back into the conversation.
Choose your next words carefully, Tokyo. You don't want to be seen as a liar to your adoring viewers, do you? What are you going to do? Kill everyone in the room? If I remember correctly, you made a deal with me as the killer, in that my motive was if I got caught as the Blackened, they would be set free from the school. So that's why, said Musashi as he motioned for everyone to submit their votes. It is time for us all to vote for who we think the Blackened is.
Grrr! Growled Monokuma as the light in his eyes seemed to shut off and power down. Then the door to the class trial room could be heard opening as Tokyo entered. She made her way over to her original position among the students as if she had never left. I knew I shouldn't have brought you here, Musashi. I was taking a big risk, but I really wanted to see you become drowned in despair. Is anyone else really confused? It all makes sense now. That's why the 3rd class trial left a sour taste in my mouth. I knew it seemed weird how Tetsuya died, and how you were punished by Monokuma, yet didn't seem to actually die. So the truth is out there now. What do you have to say for yourself, Tokyo? I didn't mean for everything to fall apart like this. I've hosted 27 other groups of students before, and not once has this ever happened. You assholes ruined everything, but at least the viewers got to see me shine as Monokuma. This feeling of recognition for causing the despair of so many feels so refreshing. You're disgusting, Tokyo. I considered you a friend, and you betrayed us. You killed Tetsu. No,
You killed everyone in this school who has died due to your horrific game.
Blah, blah, blah. I didn't kill anyone. Well, except for Tetsu. That one was definitely on me. What did you expect, though, when he came running at me with a knife? I had to defend myself after he found out who I was when I was texting instructions to Enigma back in the control room. So you mean people have been watching us suffer in the school this entire time? And no one has come to try and rescue us? I'd love to see them try. But this place is heavily guarded and hidden away in a super secret location. Outside of these walls, you guys are infamous for being the children of despair. Live on everyone's computer screens, suffering casualties time and time again, and no hope in sight. It was the perfect dream. I'm sad I never thought to broadcast the other 27 classes I held in this school, but I'm always coming up with new ideas to ruin the lives of my fellow classmates. You're sick. While I am angry that Musashi murdered an innocent person like Enigma, hopefully there's some form of hope that can come from knowing that you will be stopped, Tokyo. Stopped? What do you mean? I'm just getting started, especially now that I am, said Tokyo before being interrupted by Musashi.
Remember, Tokyo, you don't want to be seen as a liar to your viewers, do you? What's the point of causing ill-gotten despair if you can't keep your end of a bargain? We had a deal. You have to let them leave Hope's Peak Academy once and for all. Your career as a crazed fangirl of despair ends tonight.
Plus, the world now knows your face. They know your past. They know the person who you really are. Nothing is secret on the internet, and because Musashi was able to figure out who you were, you can't hide behind Monokuma anymore. But that isn't fair! I made that deal thinking the perfect crime would be committed. I needed to up the ante of the motive to tremendous heights to get you idiots to kill each other. I can't be stopped. Not like this.
Admit it, Tokyo, you've been beat. Despair has failed and hope has succeeded. Even the final murder that I committed was done in the hope that my escape would end your reign of terror once and for all.
Tokyo had been defeated by the students of Hope's Peak Academy. Nothing she could do or say would get her out of the situation she had found herself in. The killing game that she created was now about to fall apart before her eyes. This feeling of despair, it's amazing. Like a euphoria rippling throughout my body. You want to leave my damn school? Fine! Shouted Tokyo as she pressed a button on her phone that unlocked the front door of the school. Quickly, everyone ran towards the door, except for Musashi, who stayed behind.
Sata, wait! Tell my family I love them. I can't forgive myself for the crime I've committed, but I'm happy I can die knowing that it helped someone out of this hellhole.
I'll find them and let them know. I'm sure they are watching now and proud you were able to save some lives today. I won't forget that, Musashi. Shouted Sata as she ran to catch up with Yurisa and Hokusai. Tokyo then clicked another button on her phone, which caused the school to start shaking, as if it were being hit by an earthquake. How does it feel to know your last minutes of life were spent with a psychopath inside of a school crumbling all around you?
I feel nothing but joy to know that you have been stopped. For every death in this school brought us all together. For every ounce of despair you hoped to ingrain in us made us even more hopeful for an escape. You lost today, Tokyo, and I hope you understand that. Your reign of terror on innocent lives was stopped in the face of your ultimate despair. Finally reaching the front entrance to the school, Yurisa, Sata, and Hokusai were met with the warm light of the sun beating down on their faces. They had missed this feeling for so long, and their journey had only just begun as they had to find a way to reach their homes once again. They watched as Hope's Peak Academy crumbled, with Musashi and Tokyo inside of it. The things that happened in that school could not be forgotten, but it was the memories of hope that the survivors learned to carry with them back home. Thank you guys so much for watching and participating in The Sims 4 Danganronpa. This was an experiment of mine to see about doing some sort of interactive series while also making it a murder mystery in The Sims 4, and Danganronpa was just a perfect fit for it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this entire series. I know some of the episodes have been super delayed, but that's because it just takes so much work to make these episodes and the murder mysteries and to have the clues work and have the mysteries work, and it was just so much effort. But we have finally finished The Sims 4 Danganronpa, and I hope you guys did enjoy the ride. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on the entire series as a whole, and make sure to share with your friends and hit that sub button if you are new as well. I do hope to continue doing another Sims 4 series in the future. Don't know exactly what it is. It will be something that will take less editing and less effort on my part, because it was really hard to sustain the level of work that I had to put into The Sims 4 Danganronpa because I focused so much of my time on Twitch. But I'm just so happy. I'm just so freaking happy that so many of you guys participated in this. A lot of you were able to solve this final mystery, and that makes me so happy. A lot of you knew to look up clues outside of The Sims 4 Danganronpa, such as the music, to figure out like whether they actually had a high E key in them. Even some of you went so far as to look up how long it takes to dissolve a human body in sulfuric acid, which, yes, that was a clue, but it wasn't meant to be a huge clue, but some of you guys latched onto that, so more power to you. And this series has just been an absolute blast to write and to make for you guys. So I'm so glad you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the future with another video, and until then, stay awesome, stay beautiful, you lovely people. Bye-bye.